students, last video was based on the types of asymptotic notation, and in this video I will tell you how to calculate the complexity of different algorithms. Before going to the example, we should know that an algorithm can be evaluated on two bases. First is space complexity and second is time complexity. Space complexity is a calculation of the amount of the working storage an algorithm needs. That means how much memory in the worst case is needed at any point in the algorithm. Whereas while calculating time complexity, we estimate the total time spent by the algorithm to solve the problem in its worst case. Now, if we want to calculate time complexity of any algorithm, then instead of calculating the actual timing, we count the number of operations. There can be any type of operation in the algorithm. For example, like arithmetic operation, assignment operation, or comparison operation. Counting an algorithm's operation is the best way to assess its efficiency because an algorithm's execution time is related to the number of operations it requires. For example, we have outer for loop which is run from I is equal to 1 to n, that is total n iterations, and in this for loop we are performing 100 operations. Next we have inner loop which is again run for n times. So total number of iteration for this inner loop will be n into n, that is n square. And in this inner loop we are performing two operations. So total number of operations performed by this algorithm will be equal to a plus b, where a is equal to n into 100, that is n into 100, and for b it will be equal to 2n square. So total operations will be 100n plus 2n square. We have already discussed about asymptotic analysis of the algorithm. In asymptotic analysis, the main focus is on analyzing the problems of large input size. That is, input size is very large. We assume a large value of n, where n is the input size. We consider only the leading term of the formula and ignore the coefficient of the leading term. For example, in this example, we have a function 2n square plus 100n. So here the leading term is 2n square. So we can easily ignore the lower order term which is 100n in this algorithm. You can see we have taken value of n is equal to 1000, and here we have taken value of n is equal to 1 lakh. And from the calculations we can easily determine that leading term is the dominant term in the answer in both of the cases. So we can easily ignore the lower order terms. Few examples in which we will calculate the leading terms are an is equal to n plus 4. So here the leading term is n. Bn is equal to 2n square plus 240n. So here the leading term is 2n square. Cn is equal to n log n plus log n plus n into log of log n. So here the leading term is n log n. We know that when a function is fn of another function, for example tn is big O of gn, if tn is less than equals to c times gn, where c is a positive constant and for all n greater than equals to n naught. This is the order of growth of some common algorithms. For example, one algorithm has the complexity big O of 1, another has big O of log n, then linear complexity, then n log n, then square, then cube, and then exponential. So as we move in this direction, complexity will increase. So any algorithm having time complexity n square will be better than another algorithm which is having time complexity 2 raised to power n. So while calculating the running time of any algorithm, we have some rules. For example, we have constant time complexity if the statements are assumed to take a constant amount of time which is not dependent upon n. That is, we say the statement has big O of 1 complexity, or we can say the statement has time complexity denoted by C, where C is any constant. Any arithmetic operation or assignment operation or testing condition or read operation has the constant time complexity because they are not dependent upon n. N is the input size. Next, the running time of a loop is at most the running time of the statements inside the loop times the number of iterations of the loop. For example, this loop is running n times, and in this loop we have suppose one statement whose time complexity is order of 1, means we have constant time complexity statement. So the complete complexity of this loop will be equal to n into order of 1, which we can say that is big O of n. Similarly, in case of nested loop, the total running time of a statement inside a group of nested loop is the running time of statement multiplied by the product of the sizes of all loops. For example, this loop is running n time, so its complexity is order of n. This loop is running m time, so its complexity is order of m. And in this loop, we have one statement which is of constant size time complexity. So we can say the inner loop complexity is order of m into order of 1, which is order of m. So the complete complexity of this example will be order of n cross m. Suppose we have two statements inside the inner loop, then complexity will be order of n into order of m into order of 1 plus order of 1, because we have two statements of constant time complexity. So we will multiply this by the addition of two complexity because they are serial statements. So we can say that if there is one constant time statement or if there is two constant time statement, the overall complexity of this loop will be big O of n into m. Next, in case of conditional time, we consider the worst case, that is the running time of conditional statement is never more than the running time of the test plus the largest of the running time of various blocks of conditionally executed statement. And last, in case of consecutive statements, we just add the complexity and choose the maximum one. For example, if we have a statement which is of the order of n and plus another statement which is having time complexity order of n square, then overall complexity will be big O of n square. So in this example, we will calculate the algorithm complexity. For example, we have a finite length list L of positive integers. Number of integers are there like 14, 12, 8, 9. What this algorithm will do, it will return the sum of integers in the list. How? First of all, we have taken a variable which is sum initialized to 0. Then for each element x in the L, sum is equal to sum plus x. That is, first of all 0 plus 14 will be assigned to sum, that is 14. Next 14 plus 12, that is 26. Next 26 plus 8, 34. 34 plus 9, 43. So final value of sum will be 43 and it will be returned. Now while calculating the complexity of this algorithm, we will estimate the complexity of each statement. For example, first statement is initialization statement, which is a constant time operation. So its complexity is big O of 1, means it is not dependent upon the input size of the list. Next, for each element x in the list, means this loop is depending upon value of n, that is it is depending upon the input size. So its complexity will be big O of n. Next, again in a loop we have a statement which is of constant time operation. So complete complexity of this for loop will be order of n into 1, which is equal to order of n. Last statement again of constant time complexity, we can say that its complexity is order of 1. So total complexity of algorithm is big O of 1 plus big O of n plus big O of 1, which is equal to big O of n. We can also write that complexity of this constant time operation is C as discussed earlier. Then again its complexity will be C, its complexity will also be C. Then instead of order of 1 we will have some constant C plus order of n into C, which will be equal to order of n plus again C. So total complexity will be in that case also order of n. So we can conclude from this algorithm that overall complexity of algorithm depends upon the operation which are most time consuming. For example, in this case most time consuming operation is this for loop because it is depending upon the size of input. Other statements which are not depending upon the size of input, that is they are having constant time complexity, can be easily ignored. So the overall complexity will depend upon this value of n. So hope this is clear to you. In the next video, we will discuss some more example of calculating time complexity of algorithms. Thank you.